Okay, we're going to keep at this stuff. 5 problems in this video. To get credit, all 5 need to be done. 5 means 5, okay? 1x plus 4y equals 9, and then x equals 1y plus 4. So I do have a base equation here, okay? And the base right here is going to be the x because that's all by itself. So I box up the x and circle the 1y plus 4 because that's what my base variable is equal to. Okay, so I write the other equation. 1x plus 4y equals 9. Okay. All right, so the x is the variable that is by itself. That's your base variable. So we're going to replace the x with a parentheses. Okay. And then what I want to do is just copy everything down. So I've got 1, so I drop 1. Then I make a parentheses, but we're going to leave that empty. And after that, I've got plus 4 with y equals 9. Now I want to extend that parentheses so it's wider because I have to fit the 1y plus 4 in there. Okay, so 1 parentheses plus 4y equals 9. Okay. So the x I just took out, I replace it with its equal, which is 1y plus 4. So 1y plus 4. Okay, so I can solve for y now. So I'm going to draw the rainbows. 1 times 1y, 1 times 4. It's called the distributive property. So 1 times 1 is 1 with y. And then 1 times 4 is 4. And then I can cross those out as soon as I have those two products written down. Then I add 4y before I write equals 9. Okay, so my y's are on the same side, so I'm not ready to dot them till I get it down so there's just only a single y. So they're on the same side of the equation, so I'm going to draw my little pyramid that says I'm going to add. Okay, so 1 plus 4 is 5 with y. Cross those out. And then before equals, I can add 4 equals 9, okay? And then I dot my y and then get the y by itself. So I minus 4, minus 4. So 5 dot y equals 5. And then I can divide by 5. And y equals 1, okay? So 1 is the answer for y. Now to find the x, your x is by itself in the base equation. It's the base right here. So I want to use this equation, not up here, okay? Because I replaced the y, I scribble it out, and I put my answer I got, which is 1. Okay, so the x is by itself. So if the x is by itself, and it equals 1 times 1 plus 4, I can just plug that into my calculator. 1 times 1 plus 4, which is 5, okay? Okay, my next problem, 8x plus negative 7y equals negative 3, and then 6x plus negative 5y equals negative 1. Okay, so I really don't have a base variable here, so there's no base. There's no variable by itself. So if there's no base, I'm going to circle my x's, circle my y's, and circle these numbers here. Okay, now I see if I have the same number regardless of negative anywhere in front of either one of my variables. So the x's 8 and 6 aren't the same, and 7 and 5 aren't the same, and I don't even care if these were the same right here, okay? So no same, no base, no same, so I need to do my dot, 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 multiply, multiply, times, times, times. Okay, so down here I have a 6 as my beginning number, so I would want to multiply the 6 times all of these top terms. And then I have an 8 here, so I'd want to multiply all these terms by 8. Okay, 8 times 6 is 48 with x. And then negative 7 times 6 is negative 42. We just go negative 7 times 6, negative 42 with y. And then negative 3 times 6 would be negative with 18. And then on the bottom, 6 times 8 is 48 with x. Negative 5 times 8 is negative 40 with y. And then -1 times 8 would be -8. Okay, so now let's try to circle these again, because now I have somewhere where I have the same. Okay, right here. So same. But they can't both be positive, because if I add 48 to 48, it's not 0. So I reverse the signs on all these on the bottom. So the 48 is going to become negative. The -40 becomes +40, and the -8 becomes +8. Okay, so now I plus. I take 48 plus -48, and that's 0. So we got 0. These cancel. And then I have -42, and I add, and the 40 down here is positive, so it's just 40. And then that's -2y. Then -18 plus 8. 18 is negative, and then I hit plus, but then the 8 there is positive, so plus 8, so that's -10. Okay, now I can divide both sides of the equation by -2, and -10 divided by -2 is +5. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. Okay, and that's multiplication and division, not adding. Okay, now to find my other answer. Okay, I can't just go into the calculator. It's not going to work that way. So I need to use I'll use my 8x, -7y, and -3. So I just copy that down. And y equals 5. Okay, so I know I have this y can be replaced with 5, and 5 has to be multiplied times by 7. So -7 times 5 is going to be -35. But that's not the answer, because your x isn't by itself like it was up here. Okay, so you got to work on that. Equals -3. Dot your 8x, and then plus 35. Plus 35. -3 plus 35 would be 32. So 8.x equals 32. Now I divide by 8, and that's 4. Okay, so x is 4, while y is 5. Okay, so 2 down. Now for the story problems. A library is having a book sale to raise money. Hardcover books cost $4 each, and paperback books cost $2 each. A person buys 8 books for a total of $26. How many hardcover books and how many paperback books were purchased separately? So I need to find the number of paperback, the number of hardcover. So it's 3 units. And another thing I'm going to write is the fact that there is only one total cost. Because you remember some of these problems, there's more than one total cost. This one would only have one. So I'll alert you on that. So 3 units, we want to determine the relationship by kind of making this graphic organizer here. So I have total, how many units we have, the money for the cost of a single unit, and then the money total. Okay, so my units are the hardcover and the paperback, hard and paper. Okay, so there was one total cost. Well, what is it? It's $26. At the end, they paid $26. So I will be putting that there and crossing that out. Okay, now remember this top row. This is for non-money numbers. Okay, well, 4 is a money number. It will not go. It has nothing to do with this row. $2. That's a dollar amount. Nothing to do here. Okay, the 8's not a dollar amount, so that would go up here with in the how many row. It says they buy 8 books for a total of $26, but it doesn't say whether those 8 books were hardcover or paperback, so that's your total. And then I need to fill these in. I don't know them, so I need to put this as X and this as a different letter with Y. Okay, now let's go to row number 2. Well, we always black this out. Okay, I haven't really ever had to do anything there. So now we are looking for money amounts. So I'll cross out the 8. So I've got $4. Now read the sentence. Hardcover books cost $4 each. So $4 is your hardcover. And then I have $2. Paperback books cost $2 each. Okay, so I need to take, I don't know how many hardcover books there were. I know they cost $4 each. So find the total cost for hardcover, that's 4x. And I don't know how many paperback, that's y. And then times their cost, 2, so that is represented with 2y. Okay, so now on the bottom, these letters are not the same, so we need to make this 4-box cross. And you're like, well, I know I'm going to have this equation, but then I don't know what else I'm going to have because I know I need 2 equations because there's 2 different letters. So I have this. Now look in your other row, not there. Oh yeah, right here. So x, y, and 8, that's an equation. And 4x, 2y, and 26. If you only have one equation on the bottom with an x and y, it means there's going to be another one somewhere. So I know that x plus y equals 8. The hardcovers plus the paperbacks equal 8. And then 4 times the x plus $2 times the y is equal to a total cost of $26. Okay, so we put ones in front here. And there's no base, so we go circle. And there's no same, okay? Because 1 and 4 aren't the same, 1 and 2 aren't the same, so we have to use our dots. So dot, 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 dot. So what do I have here? I have 1, so 1, 1, 1, and then 4, 4, 4, and 4. Okay, so 1x times 4 is 4x. 1y times 4 is 4y, and then 8 times 4 is 32. Okay, 4x times 1 is 4x, 2y times 1 is 2y, and 26 times 1 would still be 26. Now I actually have somewhere in the columns that's the same, and it's the x's. But again, 4 plus 4 is not 0, so we need to make that negative. That negative, kind of cross that out too soon. Okay. You want to add 4 to negative 4, make sure it's 0, which it is. Okay. 4 plus negative 2 is 2, so 2y, 2 times y. Then 32 plus negative 26 is going to be 6. Okay, then divide by 2, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. Okay, now you can wait till the end till you get the other answer to plug them in, but y is under the paperbacks, so there are 3 paperback books. Okay, and then to find my other answer, I would want to take this equation, 1x plus 1y equals 8. So if I'm well aware that y is 3, we replace y with 3, but you got to understand that x ain't by itself, so it's more to it than just plugging it in on your calculator. So that's 3 plus 1x equals 8. So I dot that. I will minus 3. That's 5, so 1 times x is 5. Then I divide by 1, and 5 divided by 1 is 5. Okay, next one. At a sporting goods store, you buy 10 basketballs and 4 footballs. The footballs cost $1.45 more than the basketballs. You paid a total of $264.80. How much does each product cost? So again, we've got 3 units, basketballs, footballs, money. Okay, and I'll alert you that when we set up the table, there is 1 total cost. And I will write that on a test, okay, how many total costs there are. So, onto the 3-unit table. So, total, how many, and single. Okay, so money single, money total. Okay, so I've got the basketballs and the footballs. Okay, I said there was 1 total cost, and that was $264.80. 264.80. Okay, now up here is non-money amounts. That's how many. So, basketballs. 10 doesn't have a dollar sign, it's 10 basketballs. Okay, footballs. It's 4. Okay, and that's a money amount, so I don't want to put that. It has nothing to do with this row. So I'm going to black this out. You could actually take 10 plus 4. It'd be a total of 14, but I don't really have any use for doing that. Okay, in the middle row, we always take this out. Not ever going to, in all these problems, you're never going to put anything here. Okay, $1.45 more. Well, that goes in this row, but when it's more than, right away, you got to go x plus 1.45 and x. Okay. So this is going to go in one of these, the x plus $1.45, and this is going to go in the other. Now you got to read the problem. It says the footballs cost more. So x plus $1.45 is my footballs. And then x is the basketballs. Because we don't know the cost of either one. But I know if I have basketballs be x, footballs would just be $1.45 more than x, so plus. Okay, so 10 times x would be 10x. Now, the 4 footballs and their cost expression is represented by x plus $1.45. So we need to put a 1 in front of the x and do the multiplication. It's like the rainbows. Okay, so 4 times 1x is 4x. And 4 times $1.45 is 5.8. Okay. Now look on your bottom row. You have 2 letters and they're the same. Okay, they are the same letter. So you don't make that cross. You don't do that because you don't have a y. These are both x's. So if they're both x's, I make my adding pyramid, and I add 10 plus 4 is 14x, and then plus 5.8, and then equals $264.80. Okay, so then I dot my x, and I can solve for the x pretty easily by subtracting. So 14.x equals, and I'll divide by 14 after I find out what 264.80 minus 5.8 is, and that's 259. And I divide by 14. That's going to be what x equals. Okay, so I take 259 divided by 14, I get 18.5. Okay, so that's one of my answers. Now to know which one that is, you go find the x where x is all by itself right here. X, here's the x all by itself, that's basketballs. So the basketballs are 18.5, but put a 0, so it looks like 1850. Then to find your other answer, we're going to come up here, because we know we have we know x is 1850, and I already have that answer down. And on the other one, I take 18.50 plus 1.45. I get 1995. And that's my second answer. That's how much the footballs cost. Because remember, they're $1.45 more than the basketballs. Okay, my last problem. You buy 10 gallons of gas and 1 quart of oil for a total of $24.50. Your friend buys 8 gallons of gas and 2 quarts of oil for a total of $22. How much does a single gallon of gas cost? How much does a quart of oil cost? So we have gallons, quarts, and dollars. So again, 3 units. And this one has 2 total costs. Okay, so I make my box. So total. The cost total is this row. And then how many. And single. And then the cost for a single unit. And then how many units. So the 2 units are gallons and quarts. That's fine. What you need?
My phone's dead, so I can't call my parents, and I've been waiting for them.
Your phone's dead?
Yeah, so I was wondering if you could give them my parents' phone numbers.
Yeah, that's fine. Let me finish this problem here.
Right.
Okay. Okay, so there's 2 total costs, so $24.50 and $22. Okay, so cross those out. Okay, now I'm looking for non-money amounts. Okay, so non-money. Okay, so 10's not a money amount, it's 10 gallons. 1's not a money amount, it's 1 quart. 8's not a money amount, it's 8 gallons. And 2's not a money amount, 2 quarts. Okay, so I don't have any more of those numbers, so I'm going to cross this out. And then here in the cost per, we cross that out. And we need some variables here because I need to write expressions for those. So I've got x, x, and y, and y. So 10 times x is 10x, 8 times x is 8x, and 1 times y is 1y, 2 times y is 2y. Okay, so the letters, I have x and y, they're different letters, so I don't want to do the adding pyramid. So I have this equation here, that's one of them, and then the other one is right above it, 10x, 1y, and 2450. Okay, so I've got 10x plus 1y equals 24.50, and then 8x plus 2y equals 22. Okay, so no base, so I cross those, I circle those, and there's also no same. So I've got 8, so I'm going to do my dot, 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 dot. So I've got 8, so 8, 8, 8, and then here I've got 10, so 10, 10, and 10. Okay, 10x times 8 is 80x, 8 times 1y is 8y, then 2450 times y, I'm just about done with this. 2450 times 8 is 196. Okay, then the bottom, it's going to be 80x. 2y times 10 is 20y. And then 22 times 10 is 220. So now I actually have somewhere where I have the same, and it's right here. So I want to, but 80 plus 80 is not 0, so we need to make the bottoms all negative. And then if I add 80 to negative 80, that's going to give me 0, okay? Here, 80 plus negative 80, so 0. And then 80 plus negative 8 plus 20. Make your 20. Remember to make your 20 negative. So negative 12. Negative 12y. Okay, then I will take 196, it's positive, and I hit plus, and I got to remember to make the 220 negative. That's negative 24. Okay, so I'm going to divide both sides then by the negative 12, and it's 2, positive 2. Okay, so where's the y at? The y is under the quarts, so the quarts cost $2. Now to find the other answer, we'll take this equation here. 10x plus 1y. Remember, we did not have a base equation, so I can't just do it on a calculator. So y is 2. Scribble out y, put 2. Okay, 1 times 2 is 2, plus 10x equals 24.50. Again, when you take 1 times 2, that's not the answer. You don't have the x by itself here, so you got to do some work. So I box up 10x. I minus 2, minus 2. 24.50 minus 2 is 22.50. So 10x equals 22.5. Then divide by 10. So 22.5 divided by 10 is 2.25. So $2.25. Okay.